get ready for fall with a couple really cool fall projects. Hey everybody, it's Colette with Blessings Craft Therapy, if you didn't know. And if you did, thank you so much for coming back. All right, so I have these sublimation blanks. This is a coaster. You can see shiny on one side, matte on the other. Again, this is a car coaster. Got these from Michael's. I have some pens. These are sublimation pens, also from Michael's. Love them. Then I have Heat and Bond. This is Ultra Hold. Now I have a piece of scrap fabric, also got it at Michael's. It's just a strip. You could use fabric scraps. It doesn't matter. Cut your Heat and Bond out to the size of your fabric that you're going to be using. Then you're going to put shiny side to wrong side of fabric. See how we did that? And now we're going to iron it. Make sure it's on a heat safe surface, of course. And it doesn't take long. I mean, we're talking a couple of seconds. You see, this is real time and it's just a couple of seconds. Let it dry, not dry, let it cool. It's already dry. Just let it cool. And then you're going to peel the backer off. And see, now you see the shiny part is going to be the part that you can adhere to other things. This is so exciting. I can't even stand it. I love it because it's so simple. That's the thing I love about this. And it's non-toxic, so I don't have to worry about my allergies. So here we go. Here's our fabric. It's not sticky or anything like that. So we have our coaster. I'm going to just trace the image onto, I was going to originally cut that one out. I revamped. Sometimes doing projects, you'll see me doing stuff and I go on the fly. It's okay though, right? And then this is the car coaster and I trim. What is the problem with my words? Sorry, I traced it. Now I'm cutting just the square. I didn't cut out the coaster, but the car coaster I am fully cutting out. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to sand the edges. So I figured, all right, let's cut out the car coaster and see. I mean, the fabric isn't super thick, but it's not super thin either. So I just wasn't sure. So here it is all cut out. Here's my car coaster. I'm going shiny side where you would usually sublimate it, but I'm using just this. So I put the fabric that we put our Heat and Bond on and we cut out, put that on our coaster, and then I'm ironing it on. I used a piece of parchment paper just in case I didn't have it on right. I didn't want any glue to get on my iron, but there it is. Now you got to let it cool because it's going to be hot as the sun. So I'm going to do the other one as well. Here is the coaster part. And again, I didn't cut it out. I'm just putting it on. We're going to pray that we can sand it, right? So again, I just put my little iron on it. If you're curious, I got my little iron from Walmart. So there's that. Again, let it cool. It's going to be really hot. Once it's cool, I'm using a sanding block. Got my sanding block at Walmart and I'm just sanding it. And holy Toledo, it sanded perfectly. It was fine. I love it. Now, it didn't even fray. I was kind of hoping it would fray a little bit so it would look a little primitive. It didn't. It was just straight, which is awesome. And I got in the nooks and crannies with this. You could use an emery board if you didn't have something with a nice edge on it, or you could just fold your sanding pad. You could just fold it and you could get in the nooks and crannies that way. Easy peasy though. Look at how fun. Oh my gosh. See, this is the tip for all of you who can't cut a straight line like me. Can't cut a straight line. I did want to show you that it is adhered to this. So cool. And then again, I'm going to sand off the edges and I'm so excited because again, love me through it. I don't know. I could trace something and I still mess it up. I don't know how it works. It's fine though, because God made sanding pads for a reason apparently, and this is one of them. So anyway, so we go around and we sand off all the edges. Obviously the coaster one is much easier because it's just a circle. So we just sand it. I love it. Again, this sanding block is, I think it's Gator, something like that at Walmart. It's in like the home improvement, automotive, that section. It's not in the arts and crafts section. So there we go. And it's all sanded off. And I didn't have to worry about messing up my coaster. How fun, right? I'm so excited. There it is. Just wipe it off. It's fine. Ta-da! There it is. Now, this sublimation set came with cork, adhesive back cork. I know, it's a good deal. So I just take a little bit of the adhesive backing off just to make sure that I can get it on straight. Then I get it on straight and I bray it, make sure it's on there, and look at how pretty. Look at how pretty this is. All right, third project. Here it is. We are using these sublimation pens. I will be honest with you, I think I'm a little bit obsessed with them. So all I'm going to do is take the bottom off. So you're going to screw the cap part on the bottom, screw that off and take the insides out. Then pull the black part and it's a bunch of stuff that'll come out with it. Easy peasy though. Once it comes out, it's done, right? And now you're left with this aluminum kind of blank. Now I have more of that scrap fabric that I had put the heat and bond on. And I measured, it was about 1.5 by 4.5. I measured. 4.5 is way too long for this particular sublimation pen. I would go probably 4.25 inches in length. 4.5 is pretty close. It's pretty close. Again, I don't do well with cutting, so cutting accurately, I should say. So here is my little wrap, we'll say. And you'll see I'm just going to put this on. The only problem that you have is that the pen blank itself goes up on one side on the top. So it's like angled on the top. So you just be mindful of that. I wrap my piece of fabric around it, and then I make sure to use a heat safe surface. Now I just want to make sure that y'all understand. An iron is hot, right? And this is aluminum, so it's going to heat up. So I just again encourage you and be mindful about that. So what I do first is I just get that initial part down. I just want to make sure that it's down so that that way we can wrap it better. And as I'm putting that down, I'm just kind of letting the pen kind of roll. And as it rolls, I'm getting the iron on it. So see how I'm kind of rolling my iron over it just to make sure that there are no bubbles, and I want to make sure that it goes on nice and straight. But once this is the hardest part of the whole thing. Once you get this part, then it's easy peasy. So then all I'm doing is just going over, and probably didn't need to go over as much as I am, but I just want to make sure. So see, and as I was doing this, and again, this is why I tell you, sometimes I do these crafts and I'm like, you know what? I figure things out so you guys don't have to do this, right? You don't have to go through all of the trial and error. What I found worked best was this rolling thing. So I take my iron and just roll it and let the pen roll with it. Yeah, that was the easiest. That was the easiest way out of all of the ways you just saw me do. This is the easiest way to get it on there. And then obviously you want to let it cool. If it's not cool, you're going to hurt yourself. So just leave it alone. Telling myself that too. Leave it. Then once it's completely cooled, then I take my X-Acto knife. This is actually a, what do you call them? I don't know. It's a Cricut brand, whatever. And all I'm doing, make sure it's nice and sharp. And I'm just following. This is where that top part goes into when you reassemble, this is where that top part goes in. And so there's a line. All I'm doing is just making sure that that top part can get back in. So I'm just following each side of that line just to cut off that excess fabric. And it comes out. See? Ta-da! Perfect. Lovely. Then I sanded off the edges just to make sure that our fabric was flush to the edge of our pen. Worked out perfect. Yeah, I ironed it one more time just to make sure, because sometimes when you sand, it kind of moves stuff. So you just want to make sure that, yes, I do things double checking. It probably isn't even necessary. But then we're going to put our pen back together. Now, when you do this, make sure that this black part, this first part that you put in, make sure that part is all the way down. I made the mistake of not making sure that it was all the way down. If you don't put it all the way down, the top pen cap won't screw in. I learned that the hard way. Yet another example of things I messed up, but now you don't have to. But now it's all done, and look at it is like the perfect pen for fall. Am I wrong? Don't tell me I'm wrong. Look at how cute. This set is adorable, right? Yes. Yes, I did a happy dance with this one too. And yes, it's mandatory that you have to try the clicker. If a pen doesn't have a good clicker, it's not going to come home with me. Just saying. Anyways, friends, thank you so much for watching, and I hope this inspires you.